to listen to, time to spend. Up ahead, the road is bending. Wonder what's around the bend.
I went for a walk deep in the pine barrens of New Jersey with a young man named Tom Brown. I thought of an old man named Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau wrote more than a century ago, "The civilized man has the habits of the house. His house is a prison." Our life is frittered away by detail, Thoreau wrote. Simplify, simplify.
How long could you live in a place like this with no tools?
Endlessly. I did it down in the Pine Barrens here for an entire year and 3 months of my life. I literally came here about this time of the year about 10 years ago, and took off all my clothes, everything, knife, and I just walked in. When I came out, exactly, I think it was 15 months later, I was 20 pounds heavier, a lot more mellow, and I had a full set of clothing.
Tom Brown made the clothing from what he found in the woods. He ate what he found in the woods. He wasn't crazy and isn't. He's just spending his life following Thoreau's advice. Simplify, simplify. Part of this he learned from an old Apache. It wasn't easy, he says, finding an old Apache in New Jersey, but one showed up visiting friends. Years ago, he taught Tom Brown to see things in the woods most of us cannot see.
Oh, where did he come from?
He's just sitting here on a trail. This is one of the rarest snakes right now in the Pine Barrens. It's a pine snake. And because the Pine Barrens are getting more and more destroyed, they're losing habitat. And this snake, look how beautiful. Look at how beautiful he is. White, black spots, they used to be all over down here. Non-poisonous, they eat rodents and things like that. And they like to live in along riverbanks. Okay, we're not going to hurt you. We're not going to hurt you. Now he's like a lot of king snakes. He eats rodents. Sometimes he'll even eat other snakes. I'm not going to hurt you. Now he's calming down. Okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Keep talking to him. Now I'm going to let him go. I don't really like to disturb these guys. Isn't he beautiful? He's got to be 6.5 feet long. Isn't that beautiful? But look how beautifully he blends in.
Tom Brown has tracked people lost in the woods, taught classes about the woods, written books about them. But what he likes most is just to be here. Can you still live out here, I asked him, with no tent and no sea rations?
Certainly, very easily. First thing you do is probably build some sort of a debris hut.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is what a debris hut looks like. Nothing much is what it looks like, but it does the job, and there's no mortgage payment and no property tax. And then if you want a campfire, well, you remember how that's done. He really does it. And if you need a piece of rope, why, you can have one. Mother Nature runs a pretty good hardware store if you know where to look.
I took this bark off one of the cedar trees here, and I've left it soak maybe for about 10 minutes or so. What this does is start to break down the fibers, like you see here. You see all these fibers inside here. Then I just take the fibers, it's the inner bark on this particular species. We'll make a little piece of cordage for you, very gently. Pull it out. We got the cordage fibers. I just need half of this. I roll it a little bit on my leg. Now, I got the start of it, and I just do what I call a reverse wrap. It's very easy to do. And this reverse wrap is also what's used in making clothing, making bowstrings, making regular cordage for anything.
These pine barrens were named that because someone thought they couldn't maintain much life. But I learned from Tom Brown that there is life everywhere here. Some of it very elusive, some of it very small. But there are volumes about life here, if you know how to read them. Tracking, Tom Brown says, is more than following a trail. It is reading segments of life. I went to the woods, Thoreau wrote, because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived.
We've done a pretty good job of cutting down the forests and paving over the meadows, but there are still patches of great beauty left everywhere. You don't have to spend a year in there, like Thoreau or Tom Brown. A day or two is enough to lift the spirits. I hope such places are still around to lift the spirits of our kids. Well, we have miles and miles ahead of us before we see you again next week. You'll want to stay tuned for Bill Moyers now. Good night.
All these years I've been a wandering, just when I think